say, I don't know what to do. Colors all around, but I don't see anything but blue.
So, today we're going to be just going over the fights that we know a decent amount about. So we're going to be going over the Burgos Barboza fight, the Ferguson Dariush fight, and the Oliveira Chandler fight. So let's start with closer to the bottom, or I guess the first fight of the main card. Barboza versus Burgos. Who do you have?
It's tough because every time with Barboza, it doesn't even matter who his opponent is. Because if he gets rushed, then he'll lose. But if the person doesn't rush him, then he'll win. But I think Burgos can push. I think I can see Burgos just like keeping at him the entire time. That guy is so exciting to watch. This could be fight of the night.
I was watching a little bit of his highlights. He was 13-2, so he's got a good record
in his prime.
But was his last fight a loss against Josh Emmett, or is that somebody else I'm thinking about?
Well, now I have to look it up.
Sorry.
I don't remember his last fight.
But I remember I was looking through like the competition that he's fought, and like he's obviously really good.
Yeah, he lost to Emmett. That was a crazy fight, though. I remember it being a ridiculous fight.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen it. I just remember looking at the record.
That was such a good fight.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch that then.
You know, it's a good fight if you don't remember who wins.
That's true.
Yeah, he lost to Calvin Kattar, but other than that, it's just
right.
Win. Yeah, I think the guy's a good future ahead of him, and I think Barboza's going to be a stepping stone into a top contender.
So are you saying that you think Burgos is going to win?
Plus, Barboza's 35 now. He's getting up there in age. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like he's still got a little while longer. He still looks like he's like younger when he fights and stuff.
Yeah, he's not old.
Looks like he's being worn down.
Yeah, he's not old or anything. It's just that guy took a lot of punches to the head.
Yeah, that's true. But we are going to have a bet on this one because I'm going with Barboza.
I'm not too sure about that. But I can see Burgos.
You think it'll be close?
I think it could. I don't know. This one's really tough to pick. Again, it matters like who Edson Barboza's opponent is and what they do. Because Barboza will murder him if he doesn't push the pace.
Yeah, how they actually act in the fight. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter what they've done in the past. It matters how they actually approach fighting him. But no, like honestly, like I'm a huge fan of the stand-up game of Barboza, and obviously he has a lot more experience. Yeah, sure, he has more losses and stuff like that. But,
it's against top guys in that division. I don't care about anybody's record in that division.
Yeah, he's fought many more like known fighters and stuff like that, and like you said, Burgos has kind of lost to the more known fighters. That doesn't mean obviously that trend's gonna continue, but Barboza has beat some top guys, but then again also lost to some top guys. But I'm just like a huge fan of him, so I just usually pick the people who I'm a fan of, and pray.
It's not the way you should do that, though.
Yeah, but
I like both guys. I like them both.
It worked well for me. For me last week with Rose. So was it last week or was that 2 weeks
ago? Shut up.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. Shut up. But no, I picked Rose, and so we'll see. And it worked out. It's actually something I'll talk about later on when we go to Chandler and Oliveira. It worked out for me for Chandler. I remember on our last pick. But okay, so you pick Burgos. I pick Barboza. So
again, I want to make it clear that I'm not sure about it, though.
Not sure?
I'm not sure about any of these fights. Like, they're close fights. That's what's so exciting about them.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what I was going to say, too. Once we got to the other ones, like, the main two fights are honestly like a toss-up for me, but I'm just kind of leaning to one side. Yeah. So that's why I'm interested to see what you're going to say about it, too. Yeah. But so if you had to put a pick down, if you had to put money on it,
this fight, I'm more confident on Burgos. Like, I'm like 75-25, but the other ones, I'm like 55-45.
Yeah, exactly. Same. Except I'm in the opposite way going for Barboza, but we'll see. Okay, so Burgos for you, Barboza for me, but very close either way. So next on the list of fights we're actually picking is Ferguson versus Dariush. I don't think I've talked to you about this,
I don't think
so let's see what you think.
Dude, it just kind of like Barboza. It kind of matters what Tony's going to show up as.
Yeah.
The guy might have had brain damage from Gaethje. Like, legitimately. And not only, like, the story of Tony Ferguson is, like, get murdered until you overpower your opponent. So it could, and he's, how old is he now? Like, 37?
I think he's 37,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
You can't keep doing that. Yeah. And he looked like, I don't want to say even worse against Oliveira, because at least, like, with Gaethje, he, like, threw some punches, knocked him down and stuff.
Yeah.
But Oliveira, he was just, like, he didn't do anything. And But that could be just how good Oliveira is.
Yeah, true. And that's one point that kind of worries me too. So isn't Dariush like extremely good at wrestling?
Yeah.
I know he also has his black belt, I think, in jiu-jitsu, but I'm hoping that we don't see a repeat of Oliveira Ferguson again, because that would be a little bit bad.
In the past, though, that hasn't really mattered for Tony, because no matter what the credentials his opponent has, he's pretty slippery and like gets people in like he has a crazy darts choke. Yeah. Oliveira is really the only first person that Tony wasn't able to do anything on the ground with, because I would honestly, if that fight goes to the ground, I'm more confident that Tony would do better. And Dariush is really good on the ground.
Really? You think so?
But I also think...
I want to think that, but after seeing that, fight with Oliveira, it's like, oh, if he gets taken to the ground, I don't know how that's going to work out.
But that's the only time that's happened to Tony. Tell me another time that's happened.
I don't
Tony's
know. But then
great.
again, you could argue that, if that happened to him on the ground in his last fight, chances are he probably worked a ton on the ground. So that would have improved a lot anyways.
Typically, Dariush doesn't even go to the wrestling. He likes to knock people out.
Yeah, he likes to strike. I've noticed that. I was watching his highlights earlier today. I love watching him
fight. I'm so glad he's getting a top fight. I like Tony, but Dariush, it's been a long time coming for him. And I can't...
It seems like he's got a pretty big fan base, too.
I can't believe he's still young.
I didn't really know him until recently.
I just looked at that right when I was talking to you. He's like 30.
30, 32, something like that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. He has gray hair.
Hey, that happens to some people. Come on. Oh my god. Okay, so if you had to pick, who are you picking? Even though you said it's like 50-45 or whatever.
I think I'm gonna go with Tony.
Really?
Yeah.
From what you were saying, I thought you were gonna pick Dariush.
My heart wants Dariush to win. I love watching Dariush fight. I followed him forever.
Really? I'm surprised your heart wouldn't go with Ferguson.
No, my heart's going with Dariush.
Yeah, I'm surprised you say that your heart is with Dariush, because most people would say their heart's with Ferguson.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not like most people. I'm weird.
Oh, I know. No, I know. But honestly, I was expecting you to pick Dariush. But yeah, like we were talking about before with Ferguson, a lot of people are saying he's washed up. But if you look at it, his back-to-back losses are to Gaethje and Oliveira. And Gaethje was, I think, the interim champ, right? Yeah. And then Oliveira's fighting for the belt this weekend. Yeah. So it's not like he's losing to, bad opponents. Yeah, they're top whatever in the division. I don't know what Gaethje's ranked at right now. I'm assuming Oliveira's...
I think... Connor just moved ahead of Oliveira in the random ranking move, remember?
Really?
Yeah, the UFC just randomly updated their rankings.
Oh. Well, either way, he's lost to, like I said, an interim champ and then somebody who's fighting for the title literally this weekend. Yeah. So it's not like he's losing to bad people. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with Tony as well, though.
He could be washed. We'll just have to... I think this fight will determine whether he's washed or not.
Yeah, but even still, it's hard to argue somebody's washed when they're constantly fighting top fighters.
It is hard to argue, but, Gaethje could have literally just changed his life. I really do. He was, shaking his head. When I've never seen anyone get hit and start going, I've never seen anyone do that.
It is Tony, to be fair, but, I haven't seen that before. But I hope he's okay. He has a ton of fans behind him. He's going to be... With all the, people joke about him and stuff, but, he's a really good fighter.
Tony Ferguson, the type of guy to go out like Cowboy Cerrone with 5 losses.
Oh, no, I hope not.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because people were saying, he was the one to beat Khabib up until...
I thought so, too.
The fight with Gaethje.
He still could.
So it's
I think Oliveira's that guy. Oliveira's that guy that could have beat him.
That could have beat Khabib? Yeah. I guess it would be interesting to see that.
On his back, no problem.
You think so?
I would still pick Khabib to win, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if Oliveira beat him.
Because of the jiu-jitsu on the ground for Oliveira?
And he's good everywhere. It's not even just jiu-jitsu anymore. When he started, it was just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, but now his striking is pretty good, too.
Pretty good is an understatement.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, fair. So we both got Tony on this one. So, yes, on to the main event. Oliveira versus Chandler.
You start.
I remember... I forget... I started on this one.
Switch it up.
Okay, so this one for me is tricky. It's another toss-up, just like the co-main. I was looking at Chandler's record, and I didn't know this, but he's never been submitted before.
Oh, that might change.
But that's an interesting stat when you think about, he's had a good amount of fights, and he's fighting, top talent in Bellator and stuff. Mm-hmm. Obviously, UFC, Dan Hooker wasn't, a submission specialist by any means or anything, but when we did the pick for the last fight of Chandler's, I picked him to beat Dan Hooker when he was the underdog, and he won by knockout. But honestly, I think I'm going to have to go with Oliveira on this one. And kind of with the reasoning that I chose Barboza, too. So ever since I started doing jiu-jitsu, I've just become, a huge fan of Oliveira. Yeah. So, and like you talked about, his striking has obviously increased significantly since, he was just known for the jiu-jitsu. Yeah. But again, like total toss up because like Chandler's got that power in the lightweight division, right? So he could just knock him out with one punch or something like that.
I think Oliveira will be able to
I'll
keep him on
still
the
pick
outside.
Oliveira. You think so?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts overall?
I think Oliveira's better everywhere technically. But the problem is Chandler is confident in his hands, which he should be.
Yeah.
I think Chandler would go in there kind of not disrespecting Oliveira, but like at the same time thinking like, yeah, I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to go in there and try and knock him out. That's how I see Chandler approaching this.
Yeah,
and so
that's
he
what
would
I was
have no
thinking
problem.
too, especially after the quick knockout
Yeah.
with Dan Hooker. Maybe he's like overconfident, but I don't really know too much about him, so I don't know if he would do that.
I don't want to say it's overconfident. I want to say it's like confident enough to like put him in the firefight and go like, oh my god, I just got caught into a guillotine.
Yeah, like make a mistake.
Yeah.
Have an accident happen or something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And even then, it wouldn't really be an accident because Oliveira's that good. Oliveira's just like Dariush. He's been a long time coming.
It would be a happy accident for Oliveira.
Yeah, I hope Oliveira wins. I've been like I just said to Dariush, I've been following his career for like since the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. So you hope he wins, but is he your pick?
Yes, he is my pick as well.
He's your pick? Okay. Yeah, but again, like, total toss-up. Like, I'm really hoping that this card's going to be good. I hope we don't see a lot of, like, decisions
That's impossible.
and stuff like that.
That's impossible for this card. Oh, no, decisions are
it's
possible,
close.
but, like, boring fights are impossible for this card.
Oh, yeah, either way it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Especially, because a lot of people, like, say, for example, a lot of, like, casual fans, like, when a fight goes to the ground, they kind of just, like, stop watching and stuff like that, but you can't when it's Oliveira and Chandler, because Chandler's wrestling and then Oliveira's jiu-jitsu. It's going to be exciting whether it's standing up on the ground, wherever. So
Exactly.
I'm really pumped for that, though. I've been waiting for this one for a while.
Me too. It's going to be fun. I hope Oliveira gets the title. And I'm glad it's two people that haven't fought Khabib, so then people are like, oh, they're not the real champ. Because, if Gaethje...
And then even then again, people were saying, like you said, Oliveira could be potentially a threat to Khabib.
Both
and I
these
know
guys
we said
could
that
be.
about people before, but, like, yeah, because I guess Chandler has called out Khabib multiple times, but yeah. And you know what? Even on top of this, an interesting question to ask to finish off the video. Say, for example, you know what? Let's go with either Oliveira or Chandler wins. Who do you think is next to fight for the title?
Oh, if Dustin Poirier wins against Conor, that's, like, for sure.
You think so? You don't think it goes to Gaethje?
No. Gaethje needs to win another fight.
You think so? Really?
Yeah, Poirier deserves it more than anybody. He after his loss to Khabib, he came and he beat Dan Hooker. He beat Conor McGregor. Dan Hooker was after Khabib, right? I believe so. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
I'm almost 100%. Anyway, so
I can't remember.
regardless, he won one or two
bit.
fights after Khabib, losing to Khabib, and he's done more than enough to deserve a title shot. And if he beats Conor again, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Gaethje's-
If he beats Conor back to back, you kind of have to.
Yeah, Gaethje's been too inactive.
Yeah.
It could have.
And people are even saying Poirier should have got the title shot instead of fighting Conor again, but he chose to, so he kind of already deserves
Well,
it before even
Dana
fighting
wanted to
Conor
put him
again.
against make Oliveira versus Poirier for the title.
Right,
but
then Poirier wanted to do the money
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a good fight too. What do you think would have happened with that?
What?
Poirier versus Oliveira.
I don't know.
Tricky, eh?
This whole division is I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Oliveira
you never
would beat
know.
him, I
Maybe
think.
in another, maybe in a future predictions video, we'll be doing Oliveira versus Poirier.
I think Poirier's
you never
losing
know.
McGregor in the third fight, so we might
think
not
so?
even see that. Unless
I
Oliveira
agree.
loses.
Yeah, that's true. But then we'd have Chandler versus McGregor, right?
Yeah, maybe.
If McGregor won and if Chandler won.
Yeah,
So.
McGregor likes to pick his fights, though, and Chandler's a hard fight.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll see. So we both got Oliveira. We both have Ferguson. But then you have Burgos and I have Barboza. But again, all very close toss-up fights.
Yeah, this card's
So
going to be
we'll
awesome.
see what happens.
The prelims are stacked, too.
Yeah.
Jacare,
It's
Lando
going to be a good night
Venata.
of fights. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be awesome.
Hopefully Jacare can bounce back from that
No,
that last
he's done.
knockout loss.
He's done. He's too
Think
old.
so? You
Yeah,
think
he's done.
Well, one can hope.
Yeah, I hope Jacare wins, too. I love him.
Light now.